Hi, Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your January 16th to the 31st, 2023 reading for you. Now, I do apologize about my voice. I have a cold, so do bear with me. Now, I ask if this reading resonates with you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It helps me out tremendously, and it gets this channel seen by the YouTube algorithm. So thank you so very much for doing so. So let's see what the tarot has to say. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Okay, we have the Six of Cups reversed. We have the Four of Cups, the Four of Pentacles reversed, which is absolutely fantastic. Ooh, let's get that. Okay, there we go. Let's get that moving. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. We have the Ten of Swords reversed, which is wonderful. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. We have the Tower in the upright position, which makes sense with everything that's going on right here, right now. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. And then we have the Three of Pentacles and the Three of Swords. So this is an intense time, not going to lie and say that it isn't. But what we're going to see here is that our foundation has been shaken. It just has, from 2023, from before then. And we're going to be looking at things, really saying, how am I using this year? But how am I also using my power, my instincts, myself to build a much more stable foundation for me? With the Tower that comes in, a tower, we always think a tower is a bad time. And it's not necessarily the most fun time in our lives, be that true. But the Tower is also, it can be a marriage, it can be having a child, it can be something that happens that just, it just totally throws your world upside down. And you have to kind of get your sea legs to it. And so that's going to be something that's coming here. And I see that this Tower has been with us for a while. We don't feel like we've been on firm, stable ground, the place that we wanted to be, the place that we needed to be. And this is going to be a time where we're looking at connecting with others. We also have the repeat of the number 3. Divinity is with us during this time. We're connecting with others. We're having this collaboration, this insight come forward. We're also looking at heartbreak, pain, disappointment. During this time with the Six of Cups reverse, we can really sit there and look at things and say, oh, well, I know what's happening because this happened in the past. And be that true. But just because it happened in the past does not mean it's happening exactly the same right here, right now. And the Three of Swords is saying, listen to the scars, listen to the hurts and the pains that we have, that we think, oh, I'm just going to push those away. I don't need to look at them. I don't need to be, bothered with this nonsense. And now Spirit is saying, no, look at the heartbreak that you have. Look at, the way your heart has been shaped from the pain that you have experienced. Because with the Four of Pentacles reverse, we're releasing a lot of vampiric energy. We're releasing a lot of, things that we've held onto. It's kind of like barnacles on a ship, right? You have to take off those barnacles so you can sink a ship. So when a ship ports, that's what one of the things that they do, right? They can lift the ship and they can clean the bottom of it. And that's what I see here. It's like we're taking off things that have been kind of like suctioned to us or latched onto us that we don't need anymore. With the Ten of Swords reverse, this is, negativity. It's angry words. It's hurtful. It's hateful. It's things that we've accumulated along the way over most likely 10 years that have been holding us back, that we've thought, oh, well, I can't do this because of XYZ. And now we're going to see that the foundation, it fell apart, right? Things had fallen. Things aren't moving the way that we had thought they would. And we're going to see ourselves rising, but we're also going to see ourselves releasing a lot of that vampiric energy, a lot of that negative energy that we don't need in our lives anymore. Like, we don't want it. It's like, why am I holding on to this? And that's going to be a revelation around this time, that real sense of either physically, why am I holding on to this thing? Let me give it away. Or emotionally, why am I holding on to this? This doesn't have the relevance in my life that I thought it did. So just being aware of that is going to be super important, but also knowing that the past is going to come forward very powerfully during this time. It's going to be a little bit more real than our present. So we have to be mindful about that, not being pulled to the past. So let's see what Spirit has to say. And if you're interested in entering to receive a free reading, put a snowflake in the comment box below. A person will be chosen at random, and announced in a separate video on the 1st of February. All the instructions will be in that video or in the description box, so pay attention there and don't be scammed by anybody in the comment box. Also, if you're interested in purchasing a private reading, a private personalized meditation, or a healing, check out my website, daneharttarot.com. So let's see what Spirit has to say, angels and spirit guides. So here we have adventure reverse. We want to go on an adventure. Interesting. Do you have a cat? Okay. Or just like there's going to be, it's either a cat, because if you can see here in the upright position, you can see cats at the bottom, but there's going to be the sense of almost like you're following, like an animal brings you on an adventure. Now, it could be you're reading a book, it has an animal in it, and you're like, wow, I'd really like to go on that adventure, like that book, or like, that movie or whatever that I'm watching. But I just see something's leading you on a bit of an adventure. And here, we're stuck to it. We're kind of in our same old routines, which is great. That's what, keeps us going, keeps the cogs moving. But here, reversed, we needed an adventure, and we're not seeing that in ourselves. So if this can just be Spirit's friendly reminder, kind of tapping us on the shoulder and saying, hey, listen, let's get out of our comfort zone. Let's open up, our ideas to ourselves. Let's open up our world and see what lays ahead. So let's see here. Excuse me. Let's see what our chakra energy is. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading. This is self-mastery, and this is the solar plexus chakra. So this is going to be a time where Spirit is really saying to us, hey, listen to your gut. Your gut is going to be informing you a lot during this time, slowing things down, paying attention to your gut, paying attention to what you're feeding yourself, how you're taking care of yourself, and just really having that centered awareness. That's going to be a really good thing for us during this time, Cancer. It's going to be a very mobilizing thing, and it's going to be something where when there's chaos, and there will be chaos. I mean, we have the Tower card here, we have the Ten of Swords reversed, we have the Four of Pentacles reversed. We're looking at a lot of things, and we're reevaluating a lot. So when there's chaos, if we just step into ourselves more, which sounds so easy to say, and in the moment it's so hard to do, but if we're not reactionary, we just kind of like take a beat. That's going to be a really important thing, and that's going to be a really powerful thing for us. Let's see what our chakra energy, not our chakra, let's see what Spirit wants us to be mindful of during this time. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Oh, this is the 10 of Pentacles. So beware the green-eyed monster. Beware that sense of like, oh, if I just accumulate more, everything will be better. Everybody has everything so happy, so curated, so perfect. The 10 of Pentacles reversed is also the sense of it's feeling generationally cursed, okay? Not to be like all like woo about this, or, put a sense of fear into people, because when we hear curse, it's like, oh no, I don't want that. But it's just thinking, oh, I'll never break the cycle, right? My mom was like this, my grandma was like this, my great grandma, or, whomever, it's always going to be like this. And Spirit's saying, why? Why? If the lesson has been taught now for 3 generations, why does it have to be for 4? So looking at things, and instead of saying, oh, that's a curse, say, oh, that's a lesson. Oh, that was something to learn. Look at that hardship. Look, they went through that, so I don't have to. So I have this wisdom here. And that's going to be a very powerful thing. And that's going to be a very insightful thing for us, because we tend to think, oh, well, it's just kind of faded. And because we have the 6 of Cups reversed, we have that sense of, well, it happened in the past. Of course, it'll happen in the present. And maybe it will, and maybe it won't. But giving ourselves that freedom and not feeling like I have to follow in exactly these footsteps, or it has to be exactly like this, is going to be very, very important. So let's see the astrology of this time in correlation with the tarot. So on the 16th of January, we have the moon in Aries squared Mercury in Capricorn. This is going to be a time where it's difficult to communicate. We can find it hard to be open with people, to be open with ourselves. We can find that we stumble over our words. So during this time, we need to think before we speak, most definitely, and we need to listen. And that's also with the Tower. We can just feel like a lot of things are shifting, a lot of things are changing. We're also becoming very aware of certain things that we just don't want in our lives anymore. And with the 10 of Swords, we've accumulated so much information that here right now, it's like I don't want to take in anymore. So that's why it can also be hard to listen, because we're trying to process so much. So just be aware of this. On the 17th of January, we have the moon in Aries trine Venus in Sagittarius. This brings stability and security into our lives. We feel more confident, we feel more secure, we're more grounded in ourselves, and we're more present. And we're also going to see the way we can collaborate with others with the three pentacles, the way that we can kind of, weave things together. We don't have to stand always all by ourselves. So grounding ourselves and looking at the bigger picture and saying it doesn't have to be just me is going to be very important. Now, if you're saying, Dane, it is just me, I'm here all by myself, then it is also a connection with our angels, with our spirit guides, but also with the sense that I don't have to be in this alone. There are, places that I can reach out to. There are people who help. And it can seem like, oh, sure, there are people who help other people. But I'm really seeing here a need to have a bit of a community, to have a bit more of connection. We've made ourselves in our modern world so very isolated. We have more people than ever before on this planet, and yet there's an epidemic of loneliness. So here it's breaking down those walls and it's starting to connect again. And it's kind of finding the roots of things that's going to be so important. On the 18th of January, we have Mercury in Capricorn, sextile Saturn in Pisces. Mental discipline can be it can be a little bit hard to really grasp onto, but it's also going to be really powerful to have us meet our goals and really move in the direction that we want. So we're very mentally disciplined, but I do see it as we can be really strict to ourselves and then almost kind of walk away from that energy. So just be mindful about this during this time. We are focused and we are practical. So really grounding ourselves in that energy, looking also at the things with the Four of Pentacles that have held us back, the vampiric energy that has made it so that, oh, I can't move forward that way. Or, this was said negatively over me when I was 4 years old. I don't even remember it, but I remember the essence of it. It's like the little piece of poison stayed, but I don't know why it did. So here we're going to be purging a lot of that from us. It's like the foundation is cracking and we're going to see that a lot of things that were kind of held together with, bubblegum Elmer's glue are falling apart. So that's going to be actually a really good thing for us. Also on the 19th of January, we have Venus in Sagittarius squared Neptune in Pisces. Empathy and compassion are going to be very, very strong. We might actually be left vulnerable because of this compassion and this generosity during this time. So people can take advantage of us. Be mindful about that. Having healthy boundaries, because we are going to really like to collaborate with people, is going to be really important. But also because we do have our heartbreak, we have our pain, we have our disappointment. It's kind of like, I need to see this. I need to release this energy. It's like I need to name it, because if I name it, it takes its power away. And that's going to be a very important thing for us. We're yeah, we're needing to be gentle with ourselves on the 19th of January. That's going to be a powerful thing. On the 20th of January, we have the sun entering Aquarius. Now, Aquarius season is a time to embrace, making a difference in our lives, kind of like changing things up, embracing that adventure that we're toying with, going after, or we think, oh no, I couldn't possibly. No, embracing that adventure is going to be really fun. We want to be a bit more independent. We want to step out of our comfort zone, and we really want to make changes and focus on our future. So that's going to be a big thing. The fact that we're crowned with the Six of Cups, meaning the past comes in so prevalently during this time, can actually be a bit of an annoyance. But if we pair that with this way that we're kind of purging what isn't welcome anymore in our lives and really looking at it, we're almost looking at the past and saying, I see you, I hear you, but everything that has been toxic, I am releasing. And that's going to be astounding. Also on the 20th of January, we have Pluto entering into Aquarius. Now, Pluto comes back to Aquarius and it gives extra focus. It brings change and transformation into our lives. We take control of our future and we are more inventive. We're more unconventional during this time. And that's going to be a big thing for us. We're going to be looking at things and saying, why not instead of why? So that's going to help open up the door for where we want to be and how we want to move forward. Also, the sun is in Capricorn, conjunct Mercury in Capricorn. Something began 6 to 8 weeks ago. We're going to start seeing it come to a head now. And as we see these results, it gives us ideas of what we want to do next, how we want to step out of our comfort zone, how we want to push things forward. It's like, oh, well, that started. And why not this? And why not that? So just be mindful about this. I do see collaboration with other people, but also there's a sense of not being so isolated that's coming forward. You might not be isolated. Well, no, I do see feeling isolated. So even if you're surrounded by a zillion million people, right, you can still feel rather alone. So here there's going to be a break to that isolation. On the 22nd of January, we have the moon in Gemini opposite Venus in Sagittarius. This is a lazy day. Be gentle with yourself, be kind with yourself, give yourself time. You're not going to get everything done, or you might get everything done, but my gosh, is it going to be kind of an uphill battle? So just be mindful about that. If you can take this day off, do so. If you can't, then just know that whatever you get done, that, like, be proud of that, celebrate that. On the 23rd of January, we have Venus entering into Capricorn. Now, Venus is the planet of love and pleasure, moving into Capricorn, which is very, much more structured. It makes us very ambitious. It makes us very focused. It makes us very goal oriented. We're really looking at our progress. When it comes to love, okay, we're going to be more conventional. We're going to be more committed. And that could be a good thing. And that could be something that we're like, oh, I don't really into that right now. So just knowing where we are in our sphere of being is going to be really important. But I do see this also, like this practicality in love is going to let us see a few things that we've held onto, like a few ideas or beliefs. And it's like, but why? Why? And we're just being a lot more real and a lot more open with ourselves. So the 10 of Swords comes in. The Tower also can come in when we start, when we started to see things that didn't have the firm foundation that we thought. And we're going to look at things, and something's going to be a little bit mind blowing when it comes to love. It's not going to be mind blowing like, oh my gosh, I met this person and they absolutely, like, rocked my world. But it's going to be more mind blowing of like, oh, but I want this, oh, but this is important to me. And that's going to change the trajectory of if we're single, looking for a person. But if we're in a relationship, it's going to really a lot more cement the foundation of this is what I want and this is how I want to build things forward. So just being open and honest with that during this time. You might find that you and your partner have a lot of revelations on this day, or say, you know what, this really matters to me. And we're going to kind of, and mm, so what Spirit is saying is like, don't poo-poo if your partner, or if you think, oh, this really matters to me, because it's almost like Spirit is giving us permission, and the stars are aligning, the planets are aligning for us to really embrace that instead of, just ignoring it. So if you can write it down, if you, think about it and think, oh, that's really important. And then we go back to our day-to-day life and we forget it. So write it down, make a little, voice memo in your phone or something like that. So you can sit there and say, why is this so important to me? Because you are going to have a revelation like that. And it could be something that is just a little bit of a throwaway. And you think, oh, it's not a big deal. And it winds up being a really big deal. So just be aware. On the 24th of January, we have the moon in Cancer trine Neptune in Pisces. Helping others is going to be so important in our lives. We are really going to want to give support and be understanding. And so that's a really good thing. So just be aware of that during this time. Really connecting with people is going to be big. On the 25th of January, we have the moon in Leo squared Jupiter in Taurus. It's difficult to focus and get things done. So just be mindful about this. We can be a bit lazy. And then we have the impact of the full moon in Leo coming into play on the 25th, which there will be a separate video on. So just being aware of this during this time is going to be super important for us. On the 26th of January, we have the moon in Leo squared Uranus in Taurus. We feel restless. We aren't exactly sure why, and that's a lot of this time for us. So just being mindful about this. We need to get something off our chest. We need to get something that has been weighing down on our heart. We need to release it. And this is going to be a time where once we start to work this out, like once we start to realize, like, why aren't I feeling fully aligned with me? Or why am I questioning things or feeling like things are out of sorts where things should be perfect? Like anybody looking in would be like, what are you even complaining about? So here, just knowing that the tower time is going to be a little bit more personal than it is for other people. Like sometimes you have a tower time and people are like, oh my gosh, I see it. And other times you have a tower time and nobody sees it and nobody gets it. So just being mindful about this, and that can make us feel isolated and alone. And that's why Spirit is saying here, hey, listen, working with people Cancer, during this time is going to be so important for us. On the 27th of January, we have the moon in Aquarius, square Jupiter in Taurus. We feel good. It's a good day. It really is a good day. And listen, we can take this for granted because we're looking at things and we're like, oh, everything's just going to work out. Like it's all like dominoes and it's going to fall into line. It's all going to, just kind of build and grow and it's done. So just be mindful about this during this time because we can really take it easy on ourselves because we think, oh, I really got this. This is so much easier than, I thought. I don't know why I was making this into a big deal. And then we can kind of, wind up screwing ourselves over just a little bit. So do be mindful about this. Also, Mercury is in Capricorn, conjunct Mars in Capricorn on the 27th. Our mind is active. We really are embracing new ideas. We want to jump into new ideas. We are very enthusiastic and we're very action oriented. So we can be going this day like from new idea to new idea and starting it all up because, oh, this will just take me 5 minutes and this will take me 5 seconds. And I've got this, I got this, I got this. And then what we wind up with is a whole pile of things to do. Nothing has really gotten started to the place where we can feel comfortable, keeping it going. And we've just put way more on our plate. So just be mindful about this during this time. Also on the 27th, we have Uranus going direct in Taurus. Now, Uranus is coming out of retrograde. And what this means is that the changes that felt like they weren't going to come, we start to see like, oh, I can do this, right? I can make these changes. I can open this door. And that also leads us to having this weight that has been put on our shoulders for the past couple of months as Uranus has been in retrograde, where we're like, oh, I can't possibly do this. It can't possibly be this way. Everything felt insurmountable. Now we're like, oh, easy peasy, and we're thinking everything is easy peasy lemon squeezy. And we can kind of be a little bit too optimistic. So just be aware of this during this time. We don't want to put so much on our plate that we then become overwhelmed because we have a lot of things that are shifting. We have a lot of things that we're gaining an understanding of, and we just need to be aware of this during this time. On the 28th of January, we have Venus in Capricorn, sextile Saturn in Pisces. This is a time where we need to take pleasure in following our goals. We need to take pleasure in really stepping back and saying, okay, what do I need to do? Where do I want to be? What is it that's important to me? We're more responsible. We're more focused. We are also going to find that we kind of somehow the stars align with people who are able to help us out or things are able to move forward. It's not that we sit back in our house and eating chips, and all of a sudden people call us on the telephone and say, oh, I really want to help you out with this project that you've just been thinking about. I mean, that could happen, but it's much more unlikely. So here, during this time, we do have to be proactive, but this is going to be a time where it's just a little bit easier. It's a little bit easier to get everything flowing. Mercury in Capricorn is trine Uranus in Taurus, also on the 28th. So unconventional ideas are coming to us. We're thinking out of the box. This is why it can be easier to meet people and collab with people who can help us out because we're not sitting there saying, oh, it has to be just like this. We're really open to new ideas. We also have Venus in Capricorn, trine Jupiter in Taurus, where we have luck is on our side. Lady Luck is with us on this day. And we feel good about everything we're doing. We really benefit from having somebody in our life who's wishing us well, who's, saying, yeah, of course you can do this. Even if it's just our dog who's wagging their tail and saying, of course, I love you, I adore you, you're wonderful. We're really going to take that energy and run with it. So it's a good day for that. On the 29th of January, we have Mars in Capricorn, trine Uranus in Taurus. Energy and enthusiasm are going to be strong on this day, and we can really take the initiative to get things done. We're going to do things differently. So again, we're not afraid to step out of our comfort zone to do things in a way that we haven't normally done, or people will say, oh wow, not Capricorn, oh wow, Cancer, you're doing things so differently, or that's not normally like you. And it's like, yeah, no, isn't this cool? And that's going to be really fun. Now on the 30th of January, we have the moon in Libra squared Venus in Capricorn. It's that Capricorn energy coming through. This can make us kind of lose our stride a little bit. So just be mindful on this day that we can be a little bit more irritated with people. We can be a little bit more annoyed. And we don't really have the best patience with others, with ourselves. So just give yourself a break this day. Like seriously, give yourself a break. Don't have yourself being in the center with everybody and everything during this time. You can feel that shift of things, but you can also really feel like, well, I wish it was like it was once upon a time. And even if it is, I wish it was just how I had dreamed it could be, that's going to be a strong energy that comes through on the 30th. It follows through to the 31st. So just be mindful about this. The moon is in Libra, squared Mars in Capricorn. We're irritable. There's irritable energy around us. This is for everybody. So just knowing that, for some people, it's going to be a worse day than others, but nobody's really going to be at their best all the time. Like we can just find that we can be a little bit snippy. We want to get to the root of the problem. We can snap easily. We need to think things through. Okay. We don't need to respond to things until we think things through. And that's going to be really important. Don't be rushed. On the 31st of January, the 30th and the 31st, do not be rushed. Take it slow. Be kind to yourself. Stay in your energy, kind of stay in your lane of what you want. And you will see yourself really starting to open. Okay, this is where I want to be. This is what I desire. And also, when things annoy you, it's like, well, I don't want to be doing this anymore. And you're just going to have that really strong feeling. Now, it can be that we're just annoyed and irritated, but we're also going to have really strong truths come forward on the, 30th and 31st, that because we're irritated, we are going to be more, it's going to be easier for us to say them, rather than when we're trying to be so polite and so, keeping everything copacetic, that we're like, oh no, it's all fine. It's all fine. So just be aware of this during this time. Our subconscious spirit message is authentic reversed. This is going to be a time where we're looking at things and we're saying, am I being authentic to myself? Like, am I being my authentic me? And authentic gets thrown around a lot, right? A lot. To me, what authentic means is it making me happy? It's not that everything has to make you happy, right? But it's like, is this something that it is aligning with my energy, my morals, my desires? Is this something that is good for me or is part of me? And it's not doing something because other people are bullying us into doing it. So just being aware of this during this time of really living that authentic energy and having that authentic energy come forward, because we're kind of dulling ourselves for other people, and spirit's like, why? Our subconscious chakra energy is the soul star chakra, located 6 inches above our crown. This is angels and masters. This is our angels and our spirit guides connecting with us, talking to us, and wrapping their wings around us. And we're like, no, I got this. I got this. I can do it all myself. We feel very much during this time with the cards that come forward, we feel very much like I have to do this all by myself. And spirit's like, why? Why are you making this harder for you? And so just be mindful about this during this time, Cancer. Like, don't make it harder for you. Embrace your energy, embrace what you love, and take that help from spirit. Take that help, kind of slow it down just a little bit. Our subconscious energy to be mindful of is the Eight of Swords reverse. Be mindful that we are releasing a lot of doubts, a lot of fears, a lot of being stuck in our own head. And at first, that can feel really, really scary. It's like, okay, well, what am I supposed to be doing if not worrying, like if not doubting? And we can have all this, excess energy that we don't know what to do with because we're stopping obsessing about things or worrying about things or, tearing everything apart or being anxious and giving ourselves, making ourselves crazy is what it really is. The Eight of Swords. I mean, I am a plus plus warrior. And here with the Eight of Swords reverse, it's like we're starting to see all this worry isn't good for me. What can I do to really start embracing my life and enjoying my life? And if that means scaling back, if that means simplifying, if that means, really taking a good hard look at ourselves and saying, okay, what makes me happy? Because we only have X amount of time on this earth. And it's not to get maudlin on anybody, but it is to say it matters and we matter. And connecting and loving and being a part of existence matters. So here with the Eight of Swords, we're going to be releasing a lot, and we need to be mindful of it during this time because it can make us feel vulnerable. It can make us doubt. It can make us fear. And, we can kind of put back up that wall as soon as it starts to crumble down. And with the Tower, it is crumbling down. Our subconscious tarot message is the Death card. Now, this is Scorpio energy. Time frame is October 23rd to November 21st. But this is the dying away of the old self, a rebirth of the new. This is transformation. This is insight. This is, connecting with the veil. This is seeing the world so much more openly and honestly than we have before. And this is saying to ourselves, there's more here than meets the eye. And that's going to be important for us. And that is important for us. The Death card is transformation. And this is going to be a time of tremendous transformation. It's not always going to be comfortable transformation, but it is going to be tremendous. All right. All right, Scorpio. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I am sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the power, intensity, and beauty of this time and of ourselves. And just to let you know that this meditation and healing will be accompanied by a loud sound. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Cancer. May blessings and prosperity always be with you. I love you all. God bless. Bye.